Okay, so I just saw Ryland's podcast and it's really hurtful. It's really hurtful, but I just wanted to address a few things. The first being, why didn't Trish come to us about this problem that she was on? I did. Right after it happened, continuously throughout, phone calls with Shane and you on my couch telling you about it's not just drama. It's not drama. Like, it's full on harassment, telling me to oh, there's a balcony jump, telling me like throwing shit in the thing, like just being so mean, smacking shit out of my hand. I did tell you this. It's not drama. He says he's not a mind reader. Well, you don't have to be a mind reader because I told you guys multiple times and you know this. It's just straight up, it's actually crazy. Two friends got in an altercation a year ago. I did absolutely nothing. I was so excited to go on this trip. I came back and I was traumatized. I was bawling my eyes out. I was crying. It wasn't an altercation. What did I do? Harry J's like, oh, Trisha should be lucky Jeffree's not laying shit out. What did I do? I did absolutely nothing to warrant this. Then he goes on to say we could have talked this out with her. Well, guess what? When he did text, he said, let's forget about it. And he ended it with, well, I didn't want to believe what you said about Jeffree. How are we supposed to talk about it? The fact that he said I can't read someone's mind is like, I don't even know who this person is. And he's actually the fakest person. And this just proves it. It just proves it. And I knew it. When they had Jeffree up there, like, praising him, all this great stuff. Like, I knew it was fake. I knew it was for views. These people sold their soul to the devil. It is scary. It's scary. And you know what? I'm not upset with you guys. You kept saying, I don't know why she's upset with us or mad. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm, like, so disappointed. 12 years of friendship with Shane. And however many years, 2 or 3 years friendship with you. And you just, like, being there, sitting on my couch, like, all this time. And guess what? Another thing about your friend Jeffree, his so-called being there for you guys during all this trauma. Well, here, I think you know who this is from. A breakdown of when Shane was bawling his eyes out, Jeffree rolling his eyes like, ugh, it's Shane again. Maybe it's hard for her to express her feelings about Jeffree. F you, Ryland. F you. You are a POS. You are a POS because you know exactly how I felt this entire year. And this is why I blocked both him and Shane. They are so manipulating, gaslighting. They're so cruel. It's insane. And Ryland is so fake. And let me tell you why. Because he's like, yeah, Jeffree's always been kind of like not that great to me. He kind of ignores me. And he's not nice to Morgan. And this, that, and the other. Shane also saying to me last year during all this trauma is like, oh, maybe Jeffree's like this villain. Like, I'm scared. What do we do? Like, how do we distance ourselves from him? There was no drama. I said I was never going to expose Jeffree because you guys were still like in business with him and stuff like that. There was no drama. It's straight up the bullying, being mean, being nasty, like, but like traumatized. It's more than just me having an issue with somebody. This was like a personal, private matter that I confided in you guys in. And now you're turning this around and be like, I wish she would have talked. Oh, maybe she doesn't know how to express herself when it comes to Jeffree. There is no mending this friendship or relationship. You guys made a deal with the devil and I want nothing to do with that evil energy. It's nasty and it's disgusting and I repute it. You want some internet drama, Ryland? You want drama because that was traumatizing. That is shit that I'm still dealing with. It's just why I bring it up. It's why it keeps going through my head. It's why I keep talking about it with you guys all the time about the Jeffree situation. Let's talk about internet drama. Okay, yeah, you don't, oh, Trisha talked to me about the podcast and I'm wanting to take it down. Like, I've told it to Shane 3 times and he glazed over it. The fact that you guys are praising this evil, this monster, and I should have known this was evil. Here's some internet drama for you. When Shane asked me to take down videos that we did with Trevor Moran of him like singing in Shane's apartment or whatever during his whole scandal, I took it down. Why? Because, I don't know, Shane is like a friend and if he says something's uncomfortable, I do take it down. Anything. He's asked me to take down so many videos. You know how many videos I asked Shane to take down of me? 0. I don't know what Jeffree has over you and Shane. I don't know what dark shit you guys do, what devil magic you guys are doing, but it's dark and I want no part of it. And your podcast just showed how cold and evil you have become, how there's no soul behind those eyes. I hope it was worth it. Like, I really did want to cleanse. And then when I saw, because I really did not think he was going to like address it because it's just heavy. And usually when stuff's heavy and serious, they ignore it and they hide, which is just like, just by all the coldness in the tone, he's just like, all right, well, I'm moving on to this podcast. It's like, I'm so disappointed that was his response to all this. Like, it's crazy. How people can change so quickly is insane. There's some darkness around this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if like there's secrets, they have stuff on each other. I don't know if it's just strictly for money, to keep collecting money from the palette and from the merch and from, you know, Jeffree being on the podcast. And so I don't know what it is. It started out as an issue with apparently an issue Jay had with me, and then Jeffree also like obviously being a part of that. And now it's gone to this. It's cowardly and it's sick and it's blows my mind. And And what sucks is this was all started by that Hair by Jay video that like triggered me so hardcore. And what sucks the most is that Rylan and Shane know this is exactly the words that were coming out of Jeffree's own mouth on that trip. They know this. But now everyone, including Jeffree, is shifting the blame solely to Jay because he was dumb enough to come out with it publicly. Jeffree himself said, I've already apologized to Trish for it, confirming that this stuff is true. Like, I know people dislike me and stuff like that, and my own friend Shane of 12 years doesn't even believe me, but I just feel like if more people speak the truth that aren't on Jeffree's payroll, like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's not internet drama. This is something that's traumatizing. Shane was being canceled for all his inappropriate jokes, and he asked me to delete an innocent video of us with Trevor Moran when he was 15 years old, and I didn't think twice about it, but now I'm starting to think twice about it. Is that also just internet drama? Like, I just don't know what else to do with this. Like, I'm so just beside myself. I'm just so beside myself. I'm really, really, really trying to let this go. I'm really trying to let this go and deal with, like, my own trauma in my head from, like, all of this shit, even from those moments, like, because I literally didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to warrant them making fun of my skin, making fun of saying that I'm on drugs to people, like, making fun of the fact that I admired Jeffree and wanted to be like him and stuff like that. Like, I did nothing to warrant this. I know I can be a shitty person at times online. Like, I know people don't like me for various reasons, but I did absolutely nothing in this private relationship except to be his friend. I didn't take any money, no jobs, nothing from Shane or Jeffree, but they're both using each other for money. It's disgusting. Money is the root of all evil. I don't know how I was, like, so blind to all this. I don't know how I was so blind and so stupid, and I hope more people wake up. I hope more people will speak the truth. And Rylan just straight up lying. It makes me physically sick. Like, I don't know, how do you can't even go against that. Like, so, like, I just don't know what to do anymore than, like, show screenshots, I guess. Shane and Jeffree, they do everything through voice memos. So, like, the voice things will delete. I guess you can save them. I don't know how. I never really did. But they've always been paranoid about people screenshotting shit and stuff like that. But I can show my screenshots and you'll just see it looks like I'm talking to myself because, like, the voice memos disappear or whatever. But I told them in group chats. I told Shane privately. Like, me and Jeffree have conversations specifically detailing all the stuff that happened on that trip and him, like, apologizing and stuff like that. Like, there's text messages. I don't know why Rylan is confused, why he's saying Trisha didn't come to us personally. I had no idea. Maybe she didn't express herself well enough about Jeffree. I have the text. I hate showing, like, screenshots like that. I think that's, like, such an invasion of privacy, but I don't know what else to do. Like, because it's just, I'm dealing with just liars, like, just straight up lying about people that I really thought would have my back just a little bit more. Stay friends with the devil, but just have my back maybe just a little bit more. Give me a little bit of credit. Also notice on the podcast, it's Rylan trying to defend him and Shane's image and honor, skipping over Jeffree completely, trying to be like, we don't support the negative things that were said about Trisha. Who would support that? It was constantly, she didn't come to us personally. I don't think she knew how to express herself. We could have talked this out. Like, all they care about is, like, their image. That's all they care about in this situation. Like, they don't care about anything else. Just like when I texted Shane, and I can show it, I texted him so many times about, like, how could you be praising Jeffree in this podcast when you knew all the shit he's done to me? Like, that was my issue. Skipped over it. It was constantly like, I'm going to therapy, please. You're the only person in my life. Fast forward to Rylan being like, we didn't know about any of this stuff. She never came to us personally. She could have talked to us about it. I'm, like, having a panic attack over here. And you know, the biggest lie out of Rylan's mouth is when he's like, I don't support anything negative said about Trish. When you know damn well those are the words. Everything Jay said were the exact same thing that I told you and Shane about not once, not twice, multiple times after I came back from Vegas. I can show it in text messages. I said it in real life. My sister was there to hear it. And that is how I know this person is literally so far gone for money, for whatever, for views. I don't know what it is. And that sucks. You know, all of this has just opened my eyes, like, the kind of people they are and how they're, like, how usually I get anxiety after, like, releasing exposed video. I actually feel so calm and I feel, like, more, like, relieved. Like, there's a weight lifted off my chest because they've always been actually shitty friends. Like, when you, like, really think about it, they've been shitty friends. They didn't come to one of my shows. I did a pre-show, I did 2 tours, and never once did they come to one. Anaheim, Gigi made her way down there. This was well before Shane started, like, popping off with a series. This is when he was still doing food videos. Couldn't make it to that one. They said they thought about it, so I guess that's something. I did a first tour. Okay, I was friends with David and Jason. Maybe they just don't want to go because of that. I don't know. My last tour, I had a show in LA. Every single person I knew came. Every single person I knew came, except for them. Shane gushes about everyone's like music videos, like his friend who had like a movie come out. Never once has he ever gushed over a music video I did. And it's fine, it's whatever. I'm just like realizing it. Like I'm just realizing that they're shitty friends that I don't care that I lost. I'm just so stupid to blindly defend them. Like it's crazy. Like like I said from the beginning of that, I was like, I don't hate them. I'm not gonna like go on this hate monger. I hate them. They're the worst. Cancel them. Because like I believe Shane's super talented and can have a great comeback and stuff like that. And you know, Rylan is marrying Shane. So I'm just disappointed, like I always said. Like it's more just sad. Like I watched that podcast and just seeing him cold and like lifeless and no soul and just straight up lying is insane. And I really do hope they say lifelong friends. Like I really hope it was worth it. Like I hope all this was worth it. I hope their friendship is worth it. I hope the money is worth it. I hope these sales are worth it. The views are worth it. I hope all that's worth it. Like I'm so stupid that I believed, or like I don't know what to believe anymore. He's saying Jeffree wasn't nice to Morgan and him and Rylan himself, and you know, just people. It's just there's just so much more I can say. I just want this to be over. I'm just in shock, and I'm just venting. So sorry. I think this is a super important note because I myself have gone through friend groups or friendships, and I have to reflect and be like, okay, there is something wrong with me, and I feel like I do a pretty good job even with my last blow up of David in that friend group, whatever, 2 years ago. Like I feel like I took a good accountability and a good look at myself and be like, ooh, this probably wasn't cool. Even with H3, like, you know, I had to take a step back and be like, shit, I really messed up. Like saying names, like, you know, joking about family stuff. Like you have to like really like take some sort of ownership and accountability in order to like start to at least move on. But like the fact that there was like no ownership, no accountability, everything is just, she didn't express herself right, she didn't tell us, we could, like, it was all my fault, is like, it's insane. And this is a mentality with all their friends, and it's just crazy to me when people can't just like acknowledge that there was something that they did that was shitty. I've done a lot of shitty things in my friendships, and I acknowledge it, and I try to like learn from it, and that's the only way you can really fully get going through. It's just crazy to me that this is somehow my fault. I can't express myself clearly enough when everyone on the internet knows I have no problem expressing myself. Or that we could all talk it out when Shane said to himself, like, let's just move past this. Or later on in the conversation, well, I didn't believe what you said anyways. Like I said, I'm willing to own up and take part in anything that I have done that's been bad in like relationships, friendships, things. I'm like, oh yeah, this was messed up. I'm the first person to take accountability, to say sorry. Like that's how I can grow. That's how I have been able to grow. That's how I'm not like the shitty person anymore. But in this situation, I did nothing wrong. Like, it's the first time I can ever say that. Like other situations I've been in, yes, it's like been maybe somewhat warranted or I provoked it in some way, but this like is insane. And I never once put them in the middle and be like, oh, you have to choose someone. But I did express to Shane numerous times about Jeffree on the podcast and like just glazed over it, just like they did. Just don't even mention Jeffree. Shifting blame everywhere else. Every friendship of theirs has ended because of something the other person did, because they did this, they did this, they did this. Every one of my friendships have ended because I feel like there's equal parts. But now I see they're trying to play the same thing with me. Trisha didn't express herself enough to us. Trisha could have talked to us. I wish Trisha would have reached out personally. I did. The amount of tears I cried over Jeffree, and they were like always trying to like defend him and stuff, and I was never trying to sway them. I was never like, choose the friendship, whatever. Like it was never about that, because I knew they had a friendship and like a business relationship, but it's just like they lied so much about Jeffree being mean to Morgan and Rylan, and then Shane saying he's scared, to now switching it over to like protecting Jeffree. And this is on Trisha, because they want to believe that every friendship they lost is because of other people. That's not how it works. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, this is my first friendships I've ever had where it's completely their fault that they lost this friendship, because they are shitty people. And I can't say that about any other friend groups or friendships that I've had ever. Shane would always gas me up and be like, Jeffree loves you, Jeffree this. But yeah, like Jeffree had blocked me. Like when the Kat Von D thing came up, I was like, wow, this person has some issues or something. And Shane vouched for him. And I always just go by like Shane, because I was like, oh, if he vouches for him, it's fine. And he'd be like, yeah, he loves you. And up until going from gassing me up to gaslighting, this on Saturday when we had the conversation, he was like, I never heard Jeffree say anything about you. It was to my face. Like, it was to my face. Like, half the stuff, and half the stuff from multiple other people that had the exact same story that weren't at the same time. Rich Lux wasn't there when Oscar was there. Oscar wasn't there when Tab was there. Oscar wasn't there when I was there. Like, from different times, and everyone has the same story. But aside from that, like, stuff to my face. And I have these conversations with Jeffree where I acknowledge everything, and he's acknowledging it. But because you guys didn't hear, you guys didn't hear about it, so it must not be true then. But you know what? My gut always was that Jeffree was a bad person. That's like not even a question. It's just all this now. It's just like, wow, they sold out. Shane edits all of Ryland's podcasts, so this is like a moot point. But also Ryland was there when I had all these talks with him about Jeffree, and Ryland himself was like, yeah, Jeffree's not that nice to me, so like really, really, really for my own like physical health and like sanity, because honestly it just feels like, I know it feels like a heart attack, but everyone's been telling me it's like anxiety. Like I really am just like putting my phone down. Like I'm not gonna look at anything literally for like I just wasn't gonna post because I just don't want to like, I just didn't feel good about posting like the stuff I posted this week. My music video I had filmed back in December, and then my Adam and Eve I had to like contractually, like I have to post every other week, but I just didn't feel like fun or right in the right mindset to film like content this week, so I was just gonna stop posting for me. But like I really do have to put my phone down for real and not look at anything, and I just like ask you to not like tag me in anything. Like I just don't want to see anything. Like on Twitter I muted like so many like drama accounts because I just don't want to see anything. If I know you personally, don't text me about it. Like it just gives me so much anxiety. Like this doesn't feel real. This doesn't feel real. If I've ever had an issue, it's just like Shane was like the one person that's always just been there, just like blindly comforting me, and now it's just like I'm like so I just need to shut my phone off. That's it. That's what I'm.
Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.